Mm-hmm.
Can you check if I'm live?
I'm checking it.
Uh, I'm stopping the screen share from you.
Okay, okay.
I think we are live. Can you check if I'm live?
I'm checking it. We are live now.
We are live. Hello, everybody, for coming to the Introduction to Cloud and IAC, Infrastructure as Code. We will start in 2 or 3 minutes, but for people who are watching, if you can confirm on the YouTube channel by a hi or hello and you can see what we are talking about, that would be great. Please say hi. Akshay, can you go on mute because noise
Yes,
from
yes,
yours is
yes.
coming through. So we will wait. Hello, Arpit. Hello, Surjit. And I'll also type on the chat channel also so that they know. Akshay, I have made you
Yes.
as a managing moderator, okay? So that you can
Okay,
also do a lot of other stuff like you can take mute, unmute, and all those things.
okay.
Okay, so and by the way, congratulations. Today we hit a milestone. We have 530.
Oh, that's
Uh,
awesome.
that's awesome, no? Within a month,
Yes.
like in last 10 days, we have like more than triple our head count. So we are doing the right thing.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's good to see. So thanks to everybody who are our
Viewers.
viewers. Exactly, correct. So shall we wait for 2 more minutes? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sujit, for listening up. Uh, thank you. Uh, and so we will wait for 2 3 more minutes. But by the way, if how is everybody doing? Please say hi, hello, and everything. So that would be great. And we will start at in 2 minutes time. We are waiting for some people to join. Oh, thank you, Tech and Science, very much. Yeah. Hello, Rajneesh. Okay, 1 more minute to go. We will wait for some more people. Yeah. थैंक यू हेमंत जी धन्यवाद आपका Okay, I think we are ready to go. You ready to go, Mr. Akshay?
Yes, I'm ready to start.
Okay, cool. Welcome,
Yes.
everybody. Welcome to Agile Guru. My name is Guru Murthy Raghupati, but people call me Guru. And I have the honor of having Mr. Akshay, who is also my learning partner. And what we are trying to do is share our knowledge with you. Um, Today's topic is Introduction to Cloud and Infrastructure as Code. This will be GCP specific. And if you want my contact details and all those things, please point your camera to this part, which is this one. You can point your camera, it has my email address, contact details, and everything. So you can point your camera like that. So thank you very much. And today being 18th March, this will be recorded and put on the channel. So if you have any comments, please let us know. And the format is very simple. We will go through the slide. It is a demo oriented and we will be only covering the basic structures. Today will be on little bit services. As you know, GCP is huge and we will be using GCP for today's example. And later on in weeks and months and years, not years maybe, we will show all other services. And for the demo, the code is available in GitHub, which we will let you know at the end. Uh, Please ask any questions, and this demo will be around 40 minutes, and then we will add you to a live chat window on Google Meet where you can come and we can all talk about it. So let me know. Thanks very much. Shall we start, Mr. Akshay? You're on mute, sir.
Yes, we can
Okay,
start
fine.
now.
Thank. Okay. You can uh, unmute yourself. If you are disturbing, we'll let you know. Okay. Okay. Now the agenda, as I mentioned, is the what. Ultimately, it's what in a very high level, and what are the services provided by Google. I'll be only covering very few of them today, but in the later videos, we will be creating more. And then we'll understand the why part. Why use cloud in the first case? Then why use infrastructure as code? Right? And then the how part. How part is what is Google Cloud Storage and Load Balancer. We are going to look at only two services today to keep it simple. One is called Google Cloud Storage and the other is called Load Balancer. And the how part is how to write an IAC code in a modular way. Okay, so to keep us started, uh, what is cloud? Well, it's not the cloud where it rains and all. No, it doesn't. Ultimately, it's a collection of data center within a region. What is a region? A region can be US Central East or EU West 1, for example, in Ireland, EU West 1, where they have multiple data centers within a region, and within each region they have multiple data centers, or what we call is availability zone, or AZ. Within that availability zone you have lots of computers, racks, and all the services. Not all data centers or availability zone have the same services. Most of them do, but not all, due to restrictions, laws, and everything. And each region, within a region you have multiple availability zones, and if even if one availability zone goes down because of some region, the other availability zones take care of it. But you have to make sure that your applications are configured to be tolerable for loss of availability. It's very rare, but it still happens. For example, in summer last year, when the temperature went up to 35 degrees in London, one of the data center went down because they thought that it will never go to 40 degrees, but it went and it became too hot and it closed itself. So you have to plan your applications based on this one. Or else what you can do is replicate across regions, but then it becomes very expensive because of egress and ingress charges. What are those? I will tell later. But ultimately, you have to configure your applications to run within a region, or it can be multiple region depending on your applications. Akshay, if you get any questions, thing. Okay, I think we have one question by Ganesh, right? What is the mean by data center? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I will explain that. A data center is nothing but a collection of two, three building within a mile area, let's say, and it has lots of racks, and each rack has lots of servers, and each server has lots of CPU, RAM, and disk. So a data center, okay, let me see if I can bring one up. Google data center. So, yeah, a data center looks like this, where they have, okay, let me find images. Yeah, I think that will be a better. So, a data center literally looks like this, where it has a lot of racks and lots of computers. So, this is how, which everything is tightly controlled, where each rack then has a lot of CPU and everything inside it. So, that's what a data center means. I hope this answer is good for you, Ganesh. Please let me know. Did I explain it properly, Akshay?
Yes, yes, it is
Okay,
good. I
okay.
think
Yeah,
we can also understand.
yeah. I think because there is some delay there, maybe there is one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Um. Right now, you may be asking, "Oh, Google services are large. What do you mean by uh, what are the services?" Okay, Ganesh has confirmed that. Okay, thanks, got it. So what are some of the services provided by GCP? I'll come that in a minute. But ultimately, as I mentioned, in each data center, you have lots of racks which contain CPU, disk, memory, and network, right? And these CPUs are in millions, disks are in millions, memory is in millions, and networks in literally trillions of gigas because they have a huge network. But ultimately, when it comes to services, all these four components like CPU, disk, memory, and network, a different combination, is sold as services. Each service can be individual virtual machines, like for example a VM host, or it can be a database. For example, it can be an MySQL, Postgres, AlloyDB, or even non-SQL like Firebase and all those things. It can also be a platform. For example, Kubernetes is a platform. I'm sure you heard about that. And also it can be individual services. Like if you want to do asynchronous processing, then it is called PubSub, which is a public publisher subscriber service. It is equivalent to Kafka or ActiveMQ or so bit of it. Akshay, if you can moderate and ask in the channel if they have questions, they can type it so that you can ask me the questions.
Sure, sure.
Sure, so that it becomes more interactive. Okay. Now is we will wait for 2-3 minutes to see if we have any questions. Hello, Sanjeev. We will wait for 2 minutes and then we will proceed to the next one. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a questions like explain the load balancer.
Okay. Explain load balancer. Okay. Let's see. Let's say a computer uh, what is a load balancer? Let's assume that uh, you are a chef within a restaurant. Now, normally in a restaurant there is one cook. Let's not make it into. Let's say you are a cook in a restaurant. If only Akshay and me come, no other person comes into a restaurant and they order two chapatis, one biryani, you don't need that much. So you both can cook together. I can cook and do everything. That's fine. A cook can do that. But imagine if 50 people come at the same time. We have to work even with the best intention, with speed. We cannot serve them in time. So you need more than one cook, right? So in a kitchen, you normally have 3 to 4 cooks. So based on the number of requests which is coming, you can create or cook more food to serve the customer. Similarly, in data or in cloud terminology, a load balancer is to spread the incoming load into multiple machines so that the customer can be served in right time, and also not to strain the computers, because if a CPU goes above 100%, it will die. So what happens is you create a bunch of servers and then front it by a load balancer so that the load from the request coming from users is spread across all the people exactly. And this is like when the food order comes, you cook one dish, you cook one dish, similarly like that. Any other questions, Akshay?
Yes, yes. Rupesh is asking, can you please tell a bit about Kubernetes?
Kubernetes. Uh, uh, Please tell Rupesh that I will explain about Kubernetes, because Kubernetes is a topic on its own. In the next videos, 2 3 videos in 2 weeks time, I will explain what are Kubernetes service, because it needs a heck lot of diagrams and a lot of knowledge. So we will explain it in the next one.
Okay, sure. And here Sanjeev is asking, what is your opinion for a beginner to start learning IAC?
Uh, Good. It is good to learn from my suggestion. As I mentioned, I will come to the topic why to use it. But
Mhm.
ultimately, opinion for beginner is to use IAC. If you are from a coding background or even from a scripting background, it is best to use that, because once you are using into IAC and you are using code, it is easy to maintain, and it is also there are some pleasant points which will go next. Any other questions, Akshay?
No, no, we can move ahead.
Okay, we
Yes.
can move ahead. Okay, thank you. So now comes the question: why use cloud in the first? Or why can't I use my own data center and I can do on my own? Number one, speed of procurement. Let's say you want 10 machines with 100 GB each, right? You have to go to the market, raise an invoice. By the time, where will you put it? Electricity, cooling, everything will take months. But let's say if you want to just do a POC for 2 months, you can go to Google Cloud and create an account, put your credit card in, and say, I want this type of machines for 3 months. It will only cost you maybe $200, $300. That's it. And once you do it, you procure it. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't want to use it, you can say take it back, and they will only charge you for what you have used. So ultimately, what you're doing in cloud is you are renting the machines and services. For example, I want a database which is of this capacity. They will say the charge is $50 a month. Rather than going and spending a lot of money upfront buying the servers, which will cost you a huge capex and opex, you can literally go and buy it, rent this out. So you can only charge on based on usage. For example, they may say if you use 10 gigabytes per month, it's only $10. But if you set up your own data center, you have to look a lot of other things. So you only renting the machines and services, and they are charged based on usage monthly. One thing also you get is remote support and availability. Let's say if you set up your own data center and it is flooded, unfortunately, data center upcoming is very expensive, and not everyone can afford it unless you are investment banks or very big conglomerates. And also, not everyone knows how to set up servers. Why? Our job is to deliver software and applications to the customer, not to maintain hardware. So this is where we ask Google or AWS or Azure to host these services and then help us to ensure that the services we are asking has remote support and availability, because as per the charges it also includes availability and SLAs. So this is how you go and check out what are the services which are available, and also you have free remote support and there are some SLAs also. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is you have to pay monthly bill for each service. For example, let's say today I get load balancer and GCS. 2 months later, if I get MySQL and I use it for a month, so the next month you'll only get the billing for those services which you have used. Once you shut down, you're not going to pay anything. One thing about billing is there can be two types of billing. One is called on demand, the other is called reserved instances, RI, or what we call CUD, which is continuous usage discounts. One is, for example, let's say you're only doing something for, normally your continuous CUDs are for a year or 2 years or 3 years, where you say, I will use this much capacity for sure and I am willing to pay, and you sign a contract. Then what happens is, whether you use it or not, you have to pay for it anyway. But it's like, but they give you 40-60% discount. But if you don't use it, it's your problem. But let's say you are only using a small set of, say, one server or something, then reserve instances does not make sense. So you use something called on demand. Of course, each of them are billed on a monthly basis. Cool. Now you may be asking why to use IAC in the first case. Number one is, if you go to, let's assume, if I go to my console, Google console, right? You may think, okay, I want to create a storage bucket. Google storage, okay, cloud storage. Now I have to create one and then do the boring stuff, click, click, click. Tomorrow, if they change a GUI, it becomes a very pain in the bum, right? And then this is not a repeatable process. Let's say I am expert in this, but let's say one more person who's not an expert, they may click on different option and we may get charged a lot of money. So it's better to code it out and execute it part of a life cycle so that other people can review. Reviewing what one person does in a GUI is very hard, but that's what, if you write a code, let's say Akshay writes my code or Akshay writes the code, I can review it and vice versa. That way you put version control everything so that nothing is lost and it's all controlled and it's executed part of CI/CD pipeline, which will execute it and create those in a repeatable fashion. Okay. Number two is cost management. As I mentioned, let's say if I ask Akshay, hey Akshay, can you go and create a load balancer? And what he may do, he may create a load balancer for every region. That will cost me 10 times more money, right? I don't want to do that. If I write it in the code and which has some constraints, then by the way, if you're getting any questions, Akshay, let me know. Okay. So the
Yeah,
cost
yeah.
management is one thing. Let's, if I tell Akshay, he may go and create something which is not according to the standards of the company, or it may be something very huge. So that way, you can control what is being created in a most efficient way. For example, also is like, for example, I want to do a regional backup. I don't want to do a regional backup. I want to do a zonal backup rather than a regional backup, because zonal backups, network is free. But if I make a backup into a different region, it will cost me arms and legs. So to make sure that everything is done properly, you can write a code for it. And of course, as I mentioned, this comes with sticking to standards and security. For example, if I give all the developers access to the console and can they do everything, people may go and create a lot of VMs and they don't shut it down. Then at the end of the month, my missus, who's the finance minister, will get a huge bill, and then we will all will be in trouble. Okay.
Right.
Any questions so far?
Yes, we have some questions, and that is related to some DevOps and cloud. So
Uh,
maybe you want to understand. Like Vishwajit is asking, is that fresher can get a job in cloud or DevOps? You can answer right now or in the end of the session.
we will ask two more questions because we have time. Uh,
Okay.
so the question here is, can you get a job in cloud and DevOps as a fresher? Yes, you can. The thing is, you have to apply for roles, go into the company and tell HR what is your interest. Don't be whatever job they give, tell them this one. Please ask. For example, if they are joining, if you have two or three offers, tell the company, hey, I have other offers which is giving me that one, but I will join you even if your salary is less. I want to do a job which is in cloud and DevOps. But you may not get it straight away, and that doesn't mean that you cannot learn it. Remember, I started as a Java developer. Yes, and then at the same time I learned on the side, and then I became this. Now I do both. So you should not constrain yourself by saying I'm only a DevOps engineer, I'm only a developer. No, you can do both. It's like going into a restaurant and always eating naan and dal. Once a while you can always change into biryani or rice or something else, and then switch back or make a combination of that one. Any other
Right.
question?
Yes. Again, he is asking, Vishwajit is asking for fresher, remote job is good.
Yes and no. Remember, it depends on the culture of the company you're hiring or getting hired into. For example, if your manager or your mentors are available for you to help you out, you should, whether it's remote or sitting next to each other, doesn't matter. But in some companies it's better, because if your colleague who's coaching you, he's doing something, then if you can watch over his or her shoulder, then it's also better. So it depends on the culture of the company and who's coaching you, when he's coaching you. But ultimately you can go and learn it by yourself also. So it's up to you to decide how to do it.
Okay. And Ganesh is asking, can be able to create free tier account in Google Cloud for practice purpose?
Yes,
Yes, I think.
you can go and create, but you will not be able to do a lot of things. My suggestion would be, even if you have a credit card, set up a budget. For example, I will show you mine, right? You can create a budget so that I'm sure we can all spend more than 1,000 rupees, up to 100, up to
Dollar. Okay.
no, let's talk in up to £5, which is 500 rupees in India or whatever. For example, I've been using my cloud, and for the whole month, I've been using load balance. It's till for this month till the 18th, it's only 800 rupees, which is nothing, right? And all others, if you don't
Right.
use, it's 0,000. Look, there is no cost whatsoever. Just because you create a project doesn't mean you use it. Only when I create a load balancer or something like this one. And I'm sure we spend a lot of money on suttas and darus and restaurants. Even if you go to a restaurant, easily you will spend 5,000 rupees.
Yes.
Correct, Akshay?
Right, right.
Yeah.
One time.
So that is $50. This is more than enough for you to spend. So my question is, set up a budget. For example, if you go to billing, you can set up budgets, uh, billing accounts, and you can set up the budget saying, or let me, yeah, you can set up budgets, cloud pricing estimate, cost estimation, everything you can do. Budgets and alerts. You can set up a budget saying, create a budget for $50 across all projects. I want to only spend $10. That's it. Once you set it, if you try to spend more than that, it won't allow you to. It will send an alert. So you can't spend more than that. I hope, does it
Right.
explain this properly, Akshay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool.
Suffice the answer.
Okay.
And next, Veer Singh is asking, I think he's giving an idea for our next video. Like he's asking, hi Guru, firstly, thanks for the video. Slightly off the topic questions. Do you have any plan on making a hands-on DevOps project tutorial video in the future?
Yes, but I may leverage other people's work. So
Yeah.
I may take my friends and other people's leverage, but it will be a combination, not only purely DevOps. It will be a combination of cloud and DevOps and site reliability,
Yes.
end-to-end solution. I am not focusing only on DevOps. There are a lot of tutorials who can do that, and I don't want to saturate that one. It's not the idea. My idea is to have end to end, right from writing code to commit to deployment to monitoring and then repeating the cycle again and again. That's the point.
Okay, thank you. Like Ganesh is asking a good question. Can we able to create a free no for writing IAC? Do we need any language knowledge? If yes, which is preferred?
No, not really. We don't need any language. For example, if you look at Terraform, as long as you know how to write a normal code, if you have some programming background, any programming background, whether JavaScript or Java or anything, you can write a code in IAC. In this case, if it's plain English, you can press something and you can get it. For example, uh, let's say depends on, and if you press Control space, everything will come up. So you don't need much, and all the tools are free. So I'm here using Visual Code, and if you introduce or install the plugin for IAC, which is Terraform, it will all give it to you for free. So you don't need to have programming knowledge. You don't need to have extensive programming knowledge, but if you have something, it will be better. But for IAC using Terraform, you don't need to, but there are other tools like, for example, CDK and all those things. Then you need to have programming knowledge, especially Python, Java, and also JavaScript. If you look for something called AWS CDK, AWS CDK, then this is using programming language. Then you need to know programming language to build your infrastructure. It can be Java, Python, TypeScript, and Go. You can write all those things. Any other questions?
Uh, Veer Singh is saying thank you so much, guys. Looking forward to consume all the awesome content. Guru, love your lives, man. Cheers. Okay, thank you. And Vishwajit is asking, how can I talk to you one to one?
Ping me
So I
later
think
on LinkedIn, or ping Akshay on LinkedIn, or ping me on YouTube channel, and we can have a one-to-one chat.
yes. And last question is that Ganesh was asking, do you have any committee related like Shubham? So you can tell about growing committee where we just
Yes, Akshay, can you give the details, please?
yes, yes, I will ping here in the comment section. We
Hmm.
have a growing committee where we can talk to each other on our Discord server.
Okay. If you want to post the link later, we can post it on the YouTube channel. I'll put it in the
Yes,
description after the video also.
yes, yes, sure.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, no, we can
Okay.
move ahead.
Okay, good. Thank you. So now comes the big part. Now all this was theory and all those things. So we will have a demo. First one will be using a GUI and manually creating a GCS bucket and a load balancer, and it will take along, and I'm not going to spend too much time on creating that, but ultimately, and then we will use an IAC to create multiple times to show you a demo of how we do it. Okay. Thanks very much. So shall we go with the demo? Yeah. Okay. So
Yes,
now,
yes,
for example, I have gone on to my Google console, and I will go to my project console, and I am in the wrong account. So make sure that I'm in the right account. This is my, yeah, and I'm going to search for cloud storage. So storage storage, and it says cloud storage. Then I go and create a storage called, what should I call it? A demo 3, because this is the third session, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Continue. Oh, it should be okay. What we'll do is Agile Guru. This has to be unique globally. So I'm going to use my YouTube channel name, Agile Guru, GURU, Agile Guru hyphen IAC, IAC. Yeah, I think this is good.
Yeah.
Continue. I want to use multiple region, all these things. I at the minute, let's assume to keep the cost minimum, I'm going to use regional. But this is not duplicated. So this is not disaster recovery proof. Okay. Of course, thank you, Sanjeev, for letting me know uh, that I have to zoom. Are you able to see it properly, Akshay? Now it's zoomed up.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev, for letting me know that you want it to be zoomed. Okay. And then I will say create, enforce public access. For the time being, I'm doing it. If I say confirm, now if you see, I could have done a lot of options, but it's a bit boring, right? And it's ready, I think. So let's see if I can get it. Okay, no, that's not the one. Objects, let's say, let's do a refresh. Okay, buckets. Yeah, here it is created. Let's say, um, okay, configuration, authenticated URL, okay, cloud, permissions, protection, objects, okay, there is nothing in there. So, cloud console, buckets, and then you can do the same. I will just upload a file, let's say Agile Guru, open, right? And then I can get a public URL, copy authenticated URL. So if I click that, see, I have just hosted a live website straight onto the thing. I literally uploaded a Google. Now, here, by mistake, let's say if you upload confidential information, it becomes available to everyone. So what you normally do is authenticate and protect it by a load balancer so that tomorrow it will come through. Okay. Akshay, can you confirm if you're able to see the Google on our live channel?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine.
I can see that.
Okay, so this I have created. I will just have this. Now what I will do is host it using load balancer. So I will do a load balancer, and I will create a load balancer, and I will say an HTTPS or a serverless service. Yeah, it's a global continue. Front end is, I'll call front end. It's an HTTP protocol. That's what I need. Completed dismiss. And then what I can do is done. I have done this one. The backend, create a backend service. It's not an instance group. It will be a bucket, instance bucket, which is okay. Create a backend bucket. Okay, create a backend bucket, and here is the service which I just created. Yes, so
Mm-hmm.
bucket, and I say select. Bucket name is sample. Yes, I do not want to enable CDN. CDN will come later. I will say create, and I'll say OK. And the routing rule, just keep it to simple, and I will say review and finalize this option, blah blah blah, and I'll say create or name. We'll make it as demo LB, and I will create. And this will take round about 2-3 minutes to come back. So Akshay, should we
Mhm.
go the IOC way?
Yes, yes,
So that we will
good.
wait for this to come through, and we will also execute that so that we can do the demo and we can ask questions at the same time, because we are 40 minutes into our meeting, right? So
Yes.
the same thing which I have done there, I have coded it out. So let me know if the font size is good, Akshay.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. So let me see if the demo LB is visible also. Let's see if the demo LB front end is working. This is the IP address. Let's see if it's working. Uh, it will take some time to come through, right? Slash. What was the name of the file which we added? Do you remember? Okay, let me duplicate this then.
Mhm.
Duplicate, and I was in cloud storage. There it is. So, Agile Guru. Uh, so,
Okay, Amboj is saying it is too much zoomed.
sorry, it is too much zoomed, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. How is it now? Is it better now? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, slash agileguru.jpg, that's what I have hosted. This will take some time because it has to process and create a network and all those things. So it may take like couple of minutes. The same thing, for example, you can do using code. So here I have written a code. I'm not going to explain what is Terraform and all those things, but ultimately what I have done is created something called a module. A module itself is like a procedural place where you write all the code and it expects some parameters. For example, a parameters normally is called variables. So you create a variable and say what does it mean, and then output once it is created. If you want to display it on the console, you can put it into the output, and the logic is written normally in the main. For example, here I am using Google Scout Storage and passing the parameters bucket name, bucket project, bucket zone, and the tier. All these parameters are the same which are used to create the cloud storage. Remember when I created the zone and all those things which I have created, all these are written in code, and the same website HTML and I have created and then put it this one. So that's all it is. For the same, I have created my load balancer port is 80, backend service. What is the bucket name? What is the load balancer name? What is the project? You see, all this is now variable, and I want to display the what we call the IP address of my load balancer, and I have written the code here. By the way, all this code is available in GitHub. I'm going to share it on the channel so that you can copy it and execute on your own. The only thing you have to change is the project name here. For me, it's this one because I have created. For you, you have to create your own project into GCP console and change this value and then apply for Terraform apply. So that is what we're going to do today. So Terraform apply. Any questions so far?
No, not
Okay,
right now.
okay, thank you. I think we have to zoom this one a little bit, I think. Correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is creating the buckets. So in that time, let's see if my old content has come back. Yay! It's denied because I did not give the right access. But at least it's there. Now, if you see, I have to go through all the security standards and all those things, which is a bit of a pain, right? So if you see, okay, it's saying I have not set up the security and all those things, but ultimately the code is coming and it's telling me that access is denied because I have not given the right permissions to my bucket. So which of course is the permissions. I have remove public access and I have to do a lot of other things, right? So this becomes a bit of a problem, and if you don't do it properly, it it kind of makes it problem. So what you can do is give a service account and you have to create a service accounts and all those things, which is bit of a pain. That's why you're writing IAC code to do it. And this is what is executing. Look, I have got the load balancer IPs here. Yay, that was quick.
Yes.
So now if I go to my load balancers, because I have written it code wise, yay, look, I have got Lakshya's load balancer and development load
Yes.
balancer. And let's see if I got my IP address, which is here. So instead of this one, I will make it as that one, and Agile Guru, no, we'll make it as this one. What is the other one? Akshay's, and that's the one, right? So this one and that one. This will take, like, if you are saying empty response means it is a valid IP address, but it will take some time to do it. Any questions so far?
Yes, Ganesh is saying just curiosity Hotstar
Hmm.
application, live streaming application do load balancing or not as per you explained that service because there are many users coming online daily and watching content.
Okay. So depends. Tell me depending on the number of users, you can directly open up a VM and directly open the port and do it, but it's not advisable. What happens if your VM crashes? Then your application will go down. But if you have more than one VM and use a load balancer, it will the the load will be split automatically. It's like going to a restaurant, right? Having two cooks. If one cook gets ill, the other person can cook. But if there was only one cook and if he gets ill, then we are in trouble. So it's all the same concept. So it's better to have at least two machines. And this should be of enough capacity. It should have at least 40% of resources free. The resources meaning your CPU and RAM and disk. So depending on the application. So I would suggest use a load balancer. Using a load balancer doesn't cost you anything for IP addresses, no, and you can use free DNS services to host that also. So I would suggest that you do that. Go ahead. Any
Yes,
other
right.
questions?
Okay. Saurabh Singh is asking what happens if a resource that is managed by Terraform
Hmm.
gets deleted manually in GCP.
It will recreate it if you say apply. The best thing to do always before doing apply is to do something called plan. Oh, sorry, PLAN, plan. So it will tell me what has been destroyed because your ISC also maintains a local state. It will tell, oh, previous has been deployed. So based on the code which you have written in your code, in your Terraform, for example, in my GCS bucket, when I say destroy, I have forced it to destroy. Even if there is some data, it will destroy it. But you can configure it to say false, means even if you say Terraform destroy, this will not go and destroy your bucket.
Mhm.
But you can always go and destroy it from the console. You can. But then when you say Terraform apply, it will go and create it for you others. So there is something called TF state. If you look at in your folder, project folder, it will tell you what are the state it holds, and it will try to match those. If it doesn't exist, it will go and create it again. Okay, and looks like
Okay.
Mr. DevOps demo is ready, which is good, and also Mr. Akshay is ready. So
Yes.
it's all working good. And so, what you should, Akshay, tell me after doing the demo what we should do so that we are not billed too much.
Mm,
Come on, this is a question for you.
it's like very less coding part.
No, no, no.
Then
Once you have done the demo, what you should do?
okay, question answer. We can
Yeah, yeah,
interact
we
with the
can do
people.
that. And if I don't want to get a huge bill from Mr. Google, what we should
Okay.
do?
We should stop the all the
Yeah, exam,
like
correct.
complete load
Yeah,
balancing part.
exactly. And you can do it via the GUI, which of course is a very bad habit. So you go to Terraform and say destroy.
Delete. Yeah.
So it will go and destroy, and we will wait for some time. Now comes the thing. Next is, sorry, okay. Uh, can you do me a favor? Okay, I will copy and paste the public URL of the thing is that Saurabh Singh has said correctly and Sanjeev and Rupesh has said delete it first. So, which is good. Good guys, very well done. And this is the code which you can copy, which has the Terraform code. Don't forget to change the project name in variables variables dot tf, right? So do we have any other questions? Shall we wait for 2 3 minutes for other people to
Yes.
ask
Yes.
questions? Because I think we are good to go. Actually, why don't we call other people to join us in the thing?
Yes. We can call them on our Google Meet.
Yeah, I have pasted the Google Meet so they can join us there. Let's see if someone is interested in joining. Now I have deleted all the things. Everything is. Oh, of course, I have to press yes here. You can all join us on the live Google Meet if you want to. So it's deleting, and if you see, it's deleting here. Hello, Anvi.
Hey Guru, how are you?
I am good, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. So it's a bit dark in here.
That's fine.
So I watched the first two YouTube videos of your
Hmm.
session.
Hello, Sanjeev.
Hello, sir.
अरे संजीव अपना वाला संजीव अरे वाह so I didn't realize what are
I just
geniuses like
I
do.
just wake up and say that okay, Guru sir is anything something. Let's join.
Man, I'm very honored, man, to
No,
see
no,
you.
it's not like that.
Yeah, like man, oh, geniuses are in my. Okay, why don't you take over my channel and do everything, man?
I see. I have very limited time.
Oh, of
I
course, you
cannot.
are a very busy person, right?
I,
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me see if I have uh, storage. STO storage cloud. I think we have destroyed everything. Now is the time for have a normal chat. So we're going to
yes.
go do this. So
So
go
that
ahead if you can ask questions, whatever you want.
I have a question. There is a debate happened last week again in the topic of infrastructure as a code
Mm-hmm.
between Ansible and Terraform.
Mm.
Okay, so the debate actually like it's the same question. Like lot of like people suggesting okay, Ansible is very good in configuration and Terraform is very good in creating the infrastructure.
Mm.
Now, as an organization, let's say we want to propose a solution to the client, and client has very limited budget.
Mm.
So, and both the products have some money in commercial. So, what is the best thing we should actually suggest the client to use it?
See,
And it's a very, 50-50 answer. I got it, but
yeah,
I want your opinion on
okay,
that.
yeah. See, you can cook a biryani using, okay, lots of eco. Okay, why is there an eco? I don't. Is there an eco now? I think it's okay now, correct? Akshay, you're on mute, sir.
Okay, he's saying that people can mute their mics.
Yeah, I think it's okay. So I'll continue. If you are getting an echo, most
Yeah.
probably it's on your side. So the question was
Yes.
why, where should we use Ansible and where you should use Terraform. Now, I will come to what's the use case of Terraform. Terraform cannot be used on prem because it is cloud specific. Even though it says it's cloud, you still have to say it's Google Cloud, blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, it is about creating machines, virtual machines, or Google storage or databases. Ansible is only to go and configure machines, VMs, to install some software or configuration. It doesn't have an inbuilt capability to go and provision an Aurora database. No, it can't. Right? So, and Ansible can work on prem. Let's say if you have a subnet and you upload your SSH keys and you have 20,000 servers, you can go and configure. Also, the same Ansible can also configure other machines within your cloud, which is possible. But Terraform cannot be executed to create something within my on-prem. No, it can't because it cannot create. So ultimately, these Terraform scripts calls some cloud-specific APIs, which then calls their own virtual machine software or hardware emulators to go and create those. And that is based on billing and all those things. Remember, once you create a VM, you are started to build. What you put in them, the configuration using Ansible, they don't care much. So ultimately, it's like I ordered a biryani, you will be charged $15. If I want to put more lemon juice, it's up to you to decide. So
Okay.
your base price will always be same. If you want more onion or lemon juice, that's free. But don't say I want Coke for free. No, that's not part of biryani. That is a different service. So you'll be charged for that. And sometimes you can cook biryani inside your home, which is on prem. But then you can't make Coke inside their home because it's illegal, right? And you need a big machine. So Ansible is about once a machine is created, you install specific configurations which can be used on cloud and on prem. But Terraform is there. I'm also not saying that use only Terraform for infrastructure as code. You can use Pulumi, you can use CDK, CDKTF. Loads of them are there. So it depends on what. And remember, most of the time these tools are free, most of the time, but there are some commercial when you have to maintain the state and all those things.
Yes.
Any more questions? And anyone can ask. Biswajit, Anvi, or Saurav, or Ganesh, or Sangati, or Ambush, please ask.
Yeah, hi Guru. I wanted to ask like how to connect the variables.tf and output.tf with the main.tf file. How to use them.
Any file which has a .tf will automatically be parsed by Terraform. And if you do tf.validate, Terraform.validate, it will come automatically. You don't have to say use this one. A main, let's assume, okay, let's say if I am in a room, right, and I'll say everybody drink water. I don't have to say my daughter drink the water, my wife drink the water. If they are in the room, everybody means everything. So they will all drink water, right? So that's how it works. Okay, Sanjeev, thanks. So this is how it works. So it will automatically do, but in the same directory. For example, if you look at the code which I have given, right, in GCS site, there are its own variables and those things, but it will be only scoped to that directory. It will not recursive into directory. So a main.tf will be able to point to other TFs within the same folder. Make sense?
Okay, so if we will put everything in the same folder, then Terraform will automatically choose
Yeah,
the
they will. It
respective variable.
automatically wires them. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
But output.tf is normally for once something is created, you display it out. Yeah, but
To validate the resources.
yeah, to display the value of the resource. For example, if you look into my IOC, the output.tf is showing me the common load balancer and Akshay load balancer's IP addresses. It was showing, right? It's the same thing. So output is for showing it, or if it's a module, it returns back to the calling code. Variables is where you put the configurations. It's a naming convention. You don't have to do it, but it's a good convention. Output is, this is the returned value. You can screen it or display it or use it in other module. And others is variables where you configure it. Because if, let's say, someone who doesn't know Terraform, but they know that variables are here, they can literally go and edit the variables and change the project name and then literally run it out. They don't need to know the intricacies if it's not required to be.
And do we need to add secrets also in IC?
I'm not going to go into that much detail. This is just the introduction, what all the secrets and how to do. For example, I have put the project name, but how does Terraform know how to connect? Because I have used the G Cloud on my local machine to have all the credentials. But you may not use credentials all the time. You may need to use something else. I will create videos for that in a later stage because this is just a beginner's guide.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Looks like a no. Okay, guys.
Hi sir, Guru sir.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead. We have time
thanks,
to.
thanks for the session, sir. Sir, I have just a question.
Hmm.
Sir, where actually this Terraform was installed? Whether it is on your local machine or it's in Google version?
No, here on my. It is on my local machine. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Okay.
No, sir, you're not sure.
Okay. Let me see if I can share my. Let me know if you're able to see my machine, which is here. Are you able to see? Correct?
Yes, sir. Now you're there.
Yeah.
Now you're there.
So here it is. PWD git remote minus v. So this is the one which I have uploaded to GitHub. Uh, if you see GitHub repositories, and there it is. Literally, I have uploaded. The same files are here. I can do Terraform plan, and here you go. So it's on my local machine. Hello, Praful sir. कहाँ से आ गए?
Hello.
Hmm.
Hey,
Cool. Any other question? Go ahead.
I
Any other
Yes, sir.
questions?
Thank you. Thanks for the session, sir. Thank you for the session. You made it simple, but it's very clear, crystal clear, sir. That's a simple S3 storage also. You made it very clear.
Yeah, of
Hoping for
course.
many more sessions, sir. From
Yeah,
thank
sure. I will. This is just the starting. We have weekly plans. There is a genius called Akshay who's going to coach me how to do it properly. So
Sir,
Akshay,
from Shubham Bhaiya, we got to know you, sir, from where we are seeking more knowledge and will aim to further continue.
yeah, sure. And I don't have any plans for creating courses. No, All of my content will be online. It will be no video editing, no. It will be all live sessions. So uh, join at 10 o'clock on every Saturday,
GMT.
10
Sure.
o'clock, and be careful about the timelines changes, daylight saving, because next week it will be 10 a.m. so 3:30, and after that next week it will be at 2:30 because of the daylight saving. So I will send out a LinkedIn saying that it has changed.
Sure, sir. Please, we'll be waiting. Thank you so
Okay.
much for it. Thanks.
Anyone else? Any questions? Looks like it's a no. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you to log in at Agile Guru, your learning portal, and where I also learn from you, you also learn from me. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you all.